Oh, wow. Look at that. That is beautiful.
Ta-da! So when you plug in an air fryer, you will notice that it has a fan, which an oven does not have a fan. So think about it like when your hair is wet. When you use a blow dryer, it dries it much faster. So that's kind of the same concept with an air fryer. And one of my favorite things about an air fryer is it makes things super crispy. I love putting my leftover French fries in here, and that is why I also like putting steak in here. It makes the outside super crispy while leaving the inside still super juicy, and oh, it's so tasty. Today we are cooking with a New York strip. Look how beautiful it is. We're gonna coat it with avocado oil. The reason why I like using avocado oil is because it has a high smoke point, which means it will not burn the steak in the air fryer. And it's very, very, very important to use oil in an air fryer. It's gonna help it get that crispy outside crust that we're looking for. So this New York strip right here is 2 inches thick. And this thickness is good because it allows the outside to cook and get a nice crisp crust, while also allowing the inside to remain juicy and tender and just be absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna set it at 450. And we're gonna cook it for 5 minutes on each side. So this is 5 minutes, we're gonna flip. Alrighty, let's do the big reveal. Look how beautiful that looks. Now we're gonna let this rest for 10 minutes and we're gonna make our cowboy butter. We're gonna first add in our butter. I like to chop mine up into little chunks just because it helps it melt faster. Okay, it's almost fully melted, so now is a good time to put our garlic in. I'm getting a very strong hint of garlic, so once it's fragrant, we're gonna wanna remove it from the heat. Now we're going to quickly pour that melted butter into a bowl. First up, we're gonna put in some lemon zest. Next, some cayenne, salt, parsley. We have some Dijon mustard. If I was a real cowboy, maybe I could say this. Some Worcestershire sauce, some lemon juice, some paprika, and then finally chives. And mix this all together. And our steak has now been resting for 10 minutes. We're gonna slice into this, and you always wanna cut against the grain. We do it because it's easier to chew. It is definitely nice and juicy. Now we're just gonna drizzle some of our delicious cowboy butter. Heavenly, just really good.
So when I'm cooking steak, I tend to go for whatever's cheapest. And no matter how you cook it, as long as you have a good sauce, it's definitely gonna taste good. What you're gonna do is actually pat this dry first. So the enemy of a well-seared steak is moisture. So we wanna make sure this is completely dry. Season with salt and pepper. Now we're gonna flip and make sure you get both sides. So when it comes to cooking a steak, you wanna make sure you have a good pan. I like to use a cast iron. What's gonna happen is the cast iron actually makes sure that everything is evenly heated and you get that perfect crust. So we're using avocado oil, it has a very high smoke point, and you wanna wait till it heats up and gets that nice glisten. And one common mistake is when people don't allow the pan to heat up properly before they actually put the oil in. Another common mistake is not having your steak at room temperature. If your steak's too cold, what's gonna happen is the outside's gonna cook fast, but the inside will still be cold. Now we're gonna actually render this fat cap right here. Rendering the fat cap is really key, and what this does is allows all the fat to actually melt down, and then the steak actually reabsorbs it and brings all that flavor inside the steak, which is so delicious. You're rendering this for about a minute or so, and you wanna actually hear that sizzle, and when it starts to die down, that's when you know it's ready. This is what you wanna look for, that perfect brown. You want this crust to form, so it's gonna take about 3 to 4 minutes aside. The number one rule with cooking a steak in the pan, do not touch it. Once you put it on the pan, allow it to sit. You can just press down the steak a little bit, just making sure that it has good contact with the pan. When the steak starts to pull away nice and easy, that's when you know it's ready. If it feels a little stuck, just give it a little bit more time. Oh wow, look at that. That is beautiful. Okay, it's pulling away, so that means it's ready. And now we're gonna let the steak sit and rest. If you slice into it too fast, all the juices will actually run out. So allow it to sit and rest for a little bit. So let's make the chimichurri sauce. It's garlicky, it's herby, it's fresh. So first we're gonna go with parsley, fresh parsley. Next goes garlic, 1 clove. We're using red wine vinegar. And for the seasonings, salt, a little red pepper flakes, and of course some oregano. Give it a few pulses. Now goes in the olive oil, we're gonna pulse it a few more times. And you wanna pulse this to get a nice coarse texture. You don't want it blended all the way down. All right, I can't wait to see that beautiful center. It's been resting and it looks perfect. Make sure you slice against the grain. Oh wow, look at that. That looks perfect. Here we go.
That is delicious.
I know there's a lot of rules, but honestly, this is the best way to cook a steak. It's in a pan.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly. I'm a classically trained chef. I'm the executive culinary producer here at Tasty. I have tested steak so many times, I can't even count. I think I'm the expert in steak at this point. The best way to cook a steak is actually in the oven with a reverse sear. Reverse sear might sound hard, but it's actually a really easy technique to get a foolproof steak. So you put it in the oven first and then you sear it. So putting it in the oven first lets you have some more wiggle room to get to the temperature you want, and then you just quickly sear it to get a nice brown crust, and you'll have a perfect medium rare steak every time. I actually learned this technique from another chef when I used to work at the Today Show. It was my job to actually salt it overnight. I forgot to do it for camera. He wasn't happy with me, but I will never forget this technique. So our first step is to actually salt our steak, and we're gonna let it rest overnight in the fridge, uncovered. So as you can see, this one has not been salted. This one has been salted and let sit overnight. You can see how it's like been dried out on the surface, so that's gonna give us our nice crust. The color has also drastically changed, which means the salt has been reabsorbed into the meat, so we're gonna get a really juicy, tender steak. Now comes the oven part, and I actually like to use this oven thermometer to kind of help with the cooking and make sure I'm getting the exact temperature. So I'm setting it to 115 degrees. It will keep cooking as it comes out of the oven, and I sear it to get it up to medium rare. We're gonna cook it in a very low oven, 250 degrees, for about 30 to 40 minutes. It will depend on how thick your steak is. So we're cooking this steak on a rack so the air circulates and the steak cooks evenly throughout and it doesn't start searing on that bottom part. Okay, this is my steak out of the oven, but I promise once we get it in the pan, it's gonna get this golden sear that you've never seen before. So we have a really hot cast iron pan and we're using avocado oil because it has a high smoke point. So we're adding our steak fat cap side down so it renders all that fat, and then our steak cooks in it. All right, now that we have our beautiful fat cap, we're gonna cook it on the other side. This sear took 30, 45 seconds. It's even. It's a nice golden brown color. So now that it's seared, we're just gonna let it rest for 10 minutes. And while we rest, we're gonna make our pan sauce. I got rid of the excess oil, and we're gonna add a little bit of butter, shallot, garlic, and crushed peppercorns. And we're just gonna saute this until the onions are softened and the peppercorns start getting really fragrant. While that is just sauteing and getting fragrant, we're gonna deglaze with champagne, because what's better than champagne? Use your spatula to pick up any of those brown bits. All right, you can see that a lot of the alcohol has evaporated and it's starting to get thick, which we like. We're gonna add some beef stock, and this is my secret ingredient. This is beef demi-glace. It is beef stock that's been cooked down and down and down, so it's super concentrated. It gives the sauce a ton of flavor, really good body, and we're just gonna add a little bit of Worcestershire, turn the heat back up, and let it cook until this is reduced by half. So this is reduced by half, it's looking thickened. I turn the heat down a little bit while I whisk in some cream. So we're just gonna keep this over a low heat, maybe for 30 seconds until it thickens up a little bit. We don't want it to go too far so our sauce is still luscious and gorgeous. You know your sauce is done when it coats the back of the spoon, and when you make a line like this, the line stays. This is delicious. This is seriously the best way to cook steak. It is so juicy, it's so tender, and that peppercorn sauce is so delicious.